You'd probably win. Hey guys, I'm Liza. I make videos every now and then. I do makeup videos, I do review videos, and I just generally try and have a good time. I asked you guys on Instagram if you would like to see video based on makeup or a film review, because I'd watched a good film recently and I thought, hey, I want to talk about that. But I've also got loads of makeup videos that I kind of want to do. But I asked you guys on Instagram and 70% of you said that you wanted to see film review and only 30% of you said that you wanted to see a makeup video. So film review it is, makeup video will be next week. So if you don't want to watch a film review, that's fine. If you want to watch makeup, then wait until next week basically, and subscribe and hit notifications, because then you'll know. This film is Ready or Not, which came out in 2019, and it has the main lady as... The main lady is also the girl from The Babysitter, who I think is a great actress. I've only seen her in 2 things now, but she's a very good actress and I really like her. This video does contain spoilers. There will be a timestamp in the description that you can click on, and it will take you directly to the point of where you skip all the spoilers from the film, and it's literally then just my opinion on the film and not me describing the film. That's in the description. I suggest clicking on it now if you don't want spoilers, and if you do want spoilers and you want to know what the film's about, then carry on watching from here. It starts off with 2 kids running. They look like they're about somewhere between the ages of 5 and 10, and they're running and they're trying to run away from someone, you assume, and one of them's like, hide in here, hides one of the kids in somewhere, turns around and there's a man and he's very badly bleeding from an arrow wound in his ribs, and he says, you need to help me, please, can you help me, please, I need help. And the kid's like, he's here, come get him, and they all run over and they shoot him in the chest with an arrow, and there's this lady and she's dressed up as a bride and she's crying profusely as they take his body away. It goes 30 years later and you see the little kid all grown up, and I can't remember if it's the one who outed him or the one who hid. But basically it's 30 years later and one of them is getting married to the lady, the babysitter lady, whose name I cannot remember. She's getting married, she has a conversation with him, they get married, it's very happy. The family isn't too pleased, so there's this grandma, I think it is, and she isn't too happy, but she's the wife at the beginning of the film whose husband got taken away. She's not too happy that there's a marriage happening, and she's not too happy that there's this person. They get married, they go into their room to do adult stuff. Yeah, older lady comes in and scares them both, and they both end up going and playing a game, because the husband's like, we need to play a game because that's a family tradition. It means a lot more to my family than the marriage itself, the marriage ceremony itself. The game is what means the most. So she's like, yeah, sure, fine, let's go play a game. And they go to this big, nice, funky room, and it's got all these games and stuff set about. And the dad talks about how there's this tradition in the family of something happening and they needed to play a game because of this, because it's a tradition passed through the centuries. 2 of the people who were married into the family are like, I played chess, and then the other one's like, I played something else and I can't remember what it is. But they're like, yeah, we played these games. She then gets this box and put a card in it, and then you're meant to take out the card, and whatever it has written on it is what game you're meant to play. Now she pulls it out, and it says hide and seek. Now this is the one game that she could have played that would have actually caused her to die, basically. So they're like, we're going to count to 100 and you need to go hide. And she's like, well, do I need to win? And they're like, no, don't need to try and win. You just need to hide and not get caught. That's the aim of the game. And they're like, until how long? And she's like, until morning. And it's like, no, but okay. So she goes and hides. Then they all get weapons off the walls and they go on a manhunt for her. She doesn't realise that it's actually a life or death situation until her husband goes in, hides behind a bed with her, telling her to be quiet, and one of the ladies accidentally shoots a maid rather than the bride. And then they're like, oh no. There are 3 maids at the beginning and there's 1 butler, and the 3 maids all end up dying, and I believe the butler also ends up dying at various points. No, the whole film is basically them going around and trying to kill her and get her so that they can perform this ritual. Because the ritual is to Satan, and if they ritualize it to Satan, then they don't die and it's all good. They fail to sacrifice her in time, and she's there like laughing and stuff at them, and they're like, oh, but it was fake because nothing happens to them when dawn comes up. And they're like, well, it was fake. And then one of them's like, oh, well, that's great, until they start exploding. And they all, one by one, start just exploding everywhere. And at the very end, she goes out and the house catches on fire, and she goes out and she's like, oh, yeah, well, this is great, this is fun, perfect. Because that's basically all you need to know about it, and that's why they're trying to get her, and it's basically a cool manhunt. It's a very good film, but there isn't much to describe in the film. It's just them going along trying to get them and failing, and it's a very like comedy, not comedy film. But and that's the film. The film is 1 hour and 35 minutes long, I believe, anyway. It's about 1.5 hours. It's quite a short film considering it came out quite in modern times. It's very short. Nothing wrong with the acting. Acting's very good. Generally very good film. It is an 18, and I mean, this is kind of spoilery, but I won't necessarily say it's a spoiler. If you know the basic premise of the film, which I assume you do if you are watching this or have watched the trailer or are wanting to watch it, then you know the basis of it, and it's an 18 because it is quite bloody. It's graphic bloody, but it's also comedy bloody, almost. They don't do it in a realistic way. It's very much someone has a wound and it's very over the top pss, 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 kind of thing, even though that's not how wounds work. Interesting fact is her dress that she wears. So she wears a bridal dress throughout the whole thing, but obviously throughout the whole film it slowly gets grubbier, it gets torn a bit and stuff like that, because that's the only thing she wears. But because of how the order that they recorded it, they couldn't just have the dress and then slowly ruin it throughout time. They had to make, I think it was 21 dresses, so that you could see the gradual thing, but so that they could record it in different orders. I would highly recommend it. I don't have any film to put it against. It's similar comedy level to The Babysitter, which is a film that I'm more than happy to review. If you want me to review it, like or comment saying that you want me to review that. But it's very similar comedy level to The Babysitter, and it's very much like, it is suspenseful and it is kind of horrific, the premises of it, but it's very over the top. It's very funny, very comical type gore. So if you're okay with The Babysitter, you'll probably be okay with this, even though The Babysitter is only a 15 and this film is an 18. So yeah, but there isn't any, it just kind of focuses more on wounds rather than with Babysitter. It doesn't. No, very good film. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did. I thought I would. That wasn't a long review, I'm sorry. It's a very short film. There isn't really much to say, and it's very... The only bit that's actually surprising is the end. Because you don't know how the end is going to go. With everything that pans out in the film, you don't know how the ending's going to be. But everything else is kind of predictable, but in a good way. Like, yeah, not scary. Particularly the premises of it is scary, but it's a comedy horror. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, because I'm going to try and post videos like this every week, hopefully every Sunday, definitely every week, until otherwise. But you should subscribe. I'm going to do more reviews of films like The Babysitter, which, yeah, I'm going to review horror films, because I like horror, obviously. I hope audio's better in this. I've been sitting on a chair and the mic's a bit further away, and I'm not sure if it's actually picking up very well, because normally I'm used to it being more here, which picks up very well, but this is only so big, so this is only so tall, and I can't make it taller. So it's like a little way from my face, but I'm gonna try and solve that for next time. But I've got loads of stuff on my floor, so I can't actually solve that issue. Like, subscribe, and I shall see you probably next week. Bye! I keep talking to try and make this video longer, and this video isn't going to be longer because I'm just going to cut out all the bits that I'm talking aimlessly about the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to go.